Say my name. Iceberg. You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the first iceberg ever to this channel. The most mysterious song on the internet is basically that. A song that hasn't been identified. Nobody knows for certain who made it. Through this iceberg format, you will learn many aspects of what this intriguing phenomenon is all about. Wang. The YouTuber Justin Wang shows up on top because he was the one who gave the most popularity to the mystery in its Tales from the Internet series. The first videos of the series has over 1 million views and has helped spread this topic to a wider audience, increasing the possibility of the mystery to be solved. Redo Alpho. Long before Wang, Redo Alpho, or Redo as he is known nowadays, is a YouTuber dedicated to share obscure music, and it marks the first time that this song showed up on this platform. Darius and Lydia. These names are well known by the community, as without them, we wouldn't have this song to talk about. Back in the early 80s, Darius, a young music enthusiast, recorded TMMS from a radio station. His sister Lydia would later play an important role on the introduction of the song to the internet itself for the first time ever. Spiritofradio.ca. This is the website where the song was first uploaded back in 2007. A user called Blue asks people around about the origin of the song, and as we know, nobody came up with a definite answer. Blind the Wind. Blind the Wind is either the title that Darius came up with based on what the singer first sings, or it's actually the real title of the song provided by the DJ that played it. Although there is a debate on what the real title of the song is, nowadays it's most widely known as Like the Wind, as that's how it sounds more like. The Sinking Ships. Alongside the most mysterious song on the internet, another unidentified song was giving people something to talk about. What makes it interesting is that the voice in it is pretty similar to that of TMMS singer. The song was actually solved, sung by the Sinking Ships, a band that, however, utterly denied having anything to do with our mysterious song. Gabriel Vieira. Gabriel Vieira is a Brazilian sound engineer that played an important role on widening the search of TMMS on Reddit and look for the song far and wide. His YouTube channel Systematica contains the TMMS video with the most views anywhere with 6 million. Paul Baskerville. Born in the early 60s, he is a British DJ who drew attention from the searching community, as Darius remembers recording the song from a radio show he hosted called Musik für junge Leute. He was contacted but stated not remembering having played that song. He even played the song once again not too long ago in hopes that somebody from his audience would identify it. As you might guess, nobody actually did. 1982. 1982 is the earliest year Lydia initially claimed that Darius had listened to the song. However, several clues would later reveal that the possibility that 1982 was the year of origin of that song are unlikely. Lip smack. The lip smack is a sound heard at the fade out of the song. Whether it's the sound of the tape stopping recording or an actual sound made by the DJ remains a mystery. If it had been the DJ, he would have probably made a comment on the song, or maybe mentioned the name of the band or the song, but who knows. DX7. The Yamaha DX7 is a synthesizer that debuted in 1983. The reason why it's on the iceberg is because at this point, almost everyone agreed that this is the synthesizer that played in the mysterious song. This is also why, after knowing this, it was discarded that the song was made before 1983. In fact, some people think that the song could have been made around 1984. Statues in Motion. A Greek band from 1981 consisting of Billy Knight, Alvin Dean, and Eli Kane. Something that sparkled interest in this band was the fact that, along Metro DK, another Greek band, it was the first band suggested to be the responsible of TMMS, and no wonder, since its vocalist Yorgos Dalaviras, aka Alvin Dean, sounds remarkably similar to the voice of the mysterious song. Billy Knight. As stated earlier, Billy Knight was part of Statues in Motion, and the only person from that band the community was able to get in touch with. As expected, people would try to communicate with him, so they did. However, Billy Knight denied knowing the song or having any involvement at the beginning. This would later change, as he told a completely different story when Conspiracy, a Reddit user who later would become a YouTuber, made a post on Reddit claiming to have information about the song's origin. Billy Knight is one of the most controversial figures in the mystery, as there are many contradictions surrounding what he claims, as well as the lack of solid evidence to prove that his words are true. Alvin Dean. This man is perhaps one of the most intriguing people regarding the mystery, and a true mystery himself. Basically, he was part of a short-lived group called Homicide in 1980. He, alongside Billy Knight and Eli Kane, formed Statues in Motion. However, after the band broke up, little to nothing is known of his whereabouts. As stated before, Alvin Dean is of interest to this mystery, as he is high on the list of contenders of being the voice behind TMMS, and proving that he was or wasn't involved in the song would help people move forward to different paths to continue doing research. Some people, including Billy Knight himself, claim that Alvin Dean had passed away in the early 80s, but a man by the name of Yanis Beltekas would refute such claims. More on that later. The lyrics. When Shazam is of no use, looking for the lyrics might be the way to go. This, however, would prove difficult as, to this day, the true lyrics of the song are unclear. Even the opening lyrics are not that clear, as some people think it says, like the wind, while others blind the wind. There's no sense for communication. Talking about the lyrics, one of the most confusing lines is this one. Here are some of the possibilities. There's no sense for communication. There's no sense communicating. There's no sense communication. There's no sense for new divisions. There's nonsense communication. There's no sense for communication, which is not even English. There's no sense for ubication, which sounds like ubicación, meaning location, but again it's not a word. The subways of your mind. Although many agree upon it, not everyone is certain that the singer is saying the subways of your mind. Some others claim it's some ways of your mind, sound waves of your mind, soft waves of your mind, soft waves of your mouth. Although lyrics don't need to make sense, some people think that subways of your mind is a stretch, as we normally wouldn't relate subways to somebody's mind unless it's a literal translation of another language, in which subways of somebody's mind is a common phrase, but nobody who speaks a different language has confirmed this. It's not English. Okay, so due to the frustration caused by the difficulty of understanding the lyrics, some people have said that the reason for this is because the lyrics aren't even English. I personally don't think this is the case, given that, as unclear as it is, there are several parts which are clearly sung in English. Although there are languages similar to English, even Frisian, which is stated to be the closest language to English, doesn't come that close to resembling this language. And honestly, it sounds more like Swedish or Norwegian. The only middle ground explanation would be that it's sung in a way that it mixes English with another language, or that it's butchered English. On top of that, the singer's accent doesn't seem to originate from a native English speaker. Voices in the background. In order to better understand the lyrics, people isolated them, and they came across something very interesting. Apparently, voices could be heard in the background saying something probably in German. It is believed that some of the members of the band or the DJ playing the song on the radio were saying something. This is not 100% confirmed, as others claim this phenomenon happens when you record over a previously recorded audio on the same segment of the tape. Christian Brandl. This Austrian musician shows up on the Iceberg thanks to Ronnie Urini, another Austrian who claimed to have written TMMS together. He was one of the first ones to provide quote-unquote evidence about the authorship of the song. It came in the form of a pamphlet with the supposed lyrics of TMMS in German. Sadly, Christian Brandl took his own life in 1987, but one of the members of Huspe, a band he belonged to, denied that Christian created the mysterious song. Besides this, Ronnie is known for not always saying the truth in regards of his stories. Conspiracy. The user Conspiracy, also known as CamG, is a Redditor and YouTuber who promoted the idea that Statues in Motion was responsible for the song due to the similarity between the mysterious singer and Alvin Dean voices. Alongside Mr. Satan Z, they decided to work together on several leads that contributed to finding information about Alvin Dean and company. Currently, he is independently doing research on the mystery and sharing it with his followers and friends rather than with the Reddit community. 10 kHz. Although I have a limited knowledge on this, what I understand is that all songs recorded from the NDR station back in the 80s, when seen through a spectrogram, have some sort of signature in the line of 10 kHz. All in all, this would be evidence that the song was actually recorded from the NDR station that Darius originally claimed. It comes from another universe. Even before exhausting all strong leads, people came up with the unlikely idea that the song had to come from a different universe or timeline, and that the radio waves somehow leaked to ours, resulting in Darius recording this mysterious song. The lack of information about the song other than the song itself would be proof of that. Although many aspects of reality are beyond our current knowledge, it's highly unlikely that this is the case. Amateur band. Although there's a lot of mysticism surrounding TMMS, Occam's razor dictates that this would be the most likely explanation. An obscure German unknown band that submitted their song to the local radio station and, in spite of their efforts, went completely unnoticed, discouraging them from continuing with their musical ambition. It will never be solved. Songs like On the Roof by Johann Lindel have taken decades to be solved. Some others still remain unsolved but are expected to be solved anytime in the future. However, in spite of more information about these mysteries spreading with time, the reality is that time going by also means people forgetting or even passing away, leading to a moment in time where the last person with a knowledge or even a strong hint about the song's origin might disappear forever, hitting a dead end, a point of no return where, no matter what, the truth behind this mystery will be impossible to know. Hoax. Maybe not as unlikely as the alternative universe theory, a few ones have thought of the possibility that the song is one of the biggest elaborated hoaxes in the history of music. It is really hard to find any reasons why something that would at least have 16 years on the internet would be a hoax with basically no one benefiting from this, either personally or economically. Mr. Satan Z. Despite having been known in Latin America for his Dragon Ball content, he started uploading videos about TMMS after he got engaged with the topic. He, alongside Conspiracy and a Redditor called Leafy G, would come up with questions for Billy Knight in what would be his first English interview, and derive into a spoken interview performed by Conspiracy for his channel. Yanis Beltekas. Okay, now, Yanis Beltekas is a Greek musician who was presumed dead for many years due to false claims, even by people who met him in person and played music with him. The reason why Yanis is on the Iceberg is somehow connected to the theory that Alvin Dean is in fact the mysterious singer. In spite of the claims that Alvin Dean died shortly after Statues in Motion disbanded, a user by the name of Ensenada uploaded a snippet provided by Yanis himself of Alvin Dean singing a demo of a song included in Yanis's music albums that never came to be. The Mexican YouTuber known as Mr. Satan Z, who by the way started uploading videos about the song and his research on the matter, released a series of conversations of him and Yanis talking about the reason why he didn't provide the full song he played with Alvin. He explained that he was unable to publish anything he and his band members submitted to Warner between 1979 and 1985 due to an attempt of Beltecas to free himself from a production company that controlled everything he made. This led to the consequence of the production company blocking everything Yanis, Alvin Dean, and even Akis Perdikis, a musician who played the drums with Statues in Motion, made those years. To put it in a nutshell, the story goes that Yanis, Alvin, and some other members, possibly Akis Perdikis, were involved in the making of the most mysterious song on the internet, and that in 1984, when Yanis turned against his production company and failed to get free from them and publish their music, one of them went to Germany, probably to try their luck after being completely hand-tied by a company that to this day threatens to sue them if they ever release the music they worked on. It is worth noting that Yanis did move abroad in 1984, as stated in Mr. Satan Z conversation, although he doesn't really specify where. Considering this, it's not crazy to think that due to copyright issues and the impossibility of publishing his material without legal consequences, he or somebody close to him took his songs to different radio stations, including NDR, in an attempt for people to listen to something that otherwise would have been impossible for them to come across. A one-time broadcast that happened to be recorded by Darius in 1984 and that we now know as the most mysterious song on the internet. Although this is highly speculative, Mr. Satan Z's theory makes sense, considering that it's not that we cannot find the authors because they are unaware, but it's because they don't want anyone to know the truth. This makes sense considering that Alvin's voice sounds a lot like the singer of TMMS. There's a conversation in Greek provided by a user called Nikomi, possibly between him and an acquaintance of Alvin that Conspiracy shared with Mr. Satan Z, in which it stated that Alvin was present in Germany, filling in the gaps of why on earth would a Greek band song end up in a German radio station. To summarize, in fact, many important events connected to the mystery happened in 1984, as well as elements pointing out that Alvin Dean is the singer of TMMS. Number 1. 1984 is the year the song is widely believed to have been played on the NDR, when Darius recorded it. Number 2. It's the year when Yanis and consequently Alvin entered a dispute with Yanis' production company and lost the rights to their music. Number 3. It's the same year when Yanis said that he moved abroad, although not saying where. Number 4. According to Alvin's acquaintance, who spoke with Nikomi, and that recently I believe to be Akis Perdikis thanks to a conversation I had with Cameron himself, he said Alvin stayed in Greece until 1983, and that afterwards, probably meaning 1984, he went to Germany, and that whenever he listens to the mysterious song, he can't avoid seeing Alvin Dean's face. Number 5. The Yamaha DX7 was released in 1983 and obviously more widely available in 1984, synthesizer that is almost 100% confirmed to have been used in the song. Number 6. The fact that the song doesn't show up on the NDR playlists that Redditors requested directly from the NDR covering the years the song was thought to be played, despite knowing it was actually played there due to the 10 kHz line present in every other song, is not because the song wasn't played there. It was played there, but at the request that the submitters would remain anonymous for fear of legal consequences. And that, my friends, has been the Iceberg on the mysterious song. Thanks a lot for watching, and please subscribe for more interesting icebergs like this. See you in the next one.